As we close on out our day, between relationships, apologies, conversations, silence, and a little bit of this and that, 5D mystic stories are something that I want to share with you all and continue to stay on track with you being yourself, attachment trauma, the real boys, real days, real girls. To close out, a lot of those who are within the channeling sphere, they give you specific dates and specific times and specific predictions and a lot of specifics. I'm going to keep it simple and let you know that we're all choice points for each other. The ascension energies bring about your trauma charges, and that's the very basic. And if you don't take ownership of your inner child and your narrative, you're not going to do anything with them. And so, right now, what we have are people settling in their Pinocchio with wood life, and those who are choosing not to stay Pinocchio with a wooden body. And this is independently from belief systems or whatnot. These are people who know they want to be their inner child. Adult is how I'm going to put it to you. And in fact, it's the first wave that's already finished settling in. I'm part of that first wave. It happened a while back, and now we have a second wave that is on the way. They're already actively. And they will be settling into their newfound reality by 2024. Now, reality, don't use that word as if something needs to change outside. No, I'm talking about your inner world. Okay? And so our oversoul, we don't have sagas or dramas with anyone. The 5D mystic, enlightenment, functional adult. We do not hide our emotions, and we don't go and revisit karma wheels. No, I do dharma. It's exactly why I consistently am grateful for every choice point that I have been brought, and that's why I don't have a saga with anyone. Although people that interpret relationships ending as sagas, they think of, again, post-traumatic growth, and it's like, okay, you can use that word. I don't like you using the word because it doesn't reflect how I feel at all, because I have good feelings. I have emotions, meaning I don't judge. So when somebody wants to box it up, they're telling you they want you to express and perceive and feel the way they do. That's what those who don't understand what a person who's saying, I hear you, you didn't hear me. I'm not trying to have a monologue. I'm not trying to repeat. You didn't hear me. I can tell by how you're talking back to me that you're not hearing my personal subjective opinion, and you're not embodying that this is who this human being is. You're actually chit-chatting over me as I'm speaking to you. Okay, so those are the Pinocchios with wooden bodies. They will be chit-chatting over, and then they just make up their mind of what you just said. And it's like, that doesn't feel right at all. I just said something completely different. It's called people who don't accept that some of us feel and think life differently than they do. So the part of what I'm describing is not something that has anything to do with the ascension energies. It's about how a person who's aware of their self will know they're not being seen. So you're not, in fact, soothing my nervous system because you're not attuning it. You're not attuning to it, and you're not resonating. And when I come in to correct you, you're telling me that I'm not right about something that I'm telling you. Okay, so that's the part of where and why people, if you want to get to know each other, you don't do that. People who are aware of their self, they work with their maladaptive child behavior and adaptive child behavior, and they come in with actual conversations. They actually want to build intimacy with you. And here's why you don't have chasing and running with any person that you're building something with. Twin flame and flames and soulmates, there's no written rule anywhere, meaning that you don't have to go through anything. That's because you're two people and or more, and every person is their own unique person. So they get to engage in those relationships how they feel fit, and that's part of all people. The aspect that creates intimacy is the I hear you and I emotionally feel. That's it. And then I consistently show up and I consistently want that. The minute that I begin to come in and out, I'm showing to you that I don't want to build intimacy with you. I don't want depth with you. This is not heartbreaking for people who are independent, meaning it's sad, but you're not dying inside. the individuals who are Pinocchios with these wooden bodies, they end up filling their time with activities that are unfulfilling. They actively, again, activities of this sexual stuff that doesn't involve any intimacy. Because when you're actively just randomly being with people, the reason why contempt, disgust, and shame come up is because the shame button is not being worked on by the person. They're not claiming their inner child, they're just filling a void. Filling a void is a shame cycle. So the feelings are not to be seen as demonizing or romanticizing. You don't need to stay stuck in either. It's called get out of it. I've told people in college this when they come to me, or not came, but we chit chat and they're like, I'm empty. I'm more upset. Why are you doing it? Okay, so when a Pinocchio with a wooden body keeps on filling their time with unfulfilling tasks, they know what they're doing. The way to get out of it is to disengage from doing things that are superficial. The thing is, though, that they are not also understanding that you are here to regulate your nervous system by dealing with the uncertainty and the variability of life. Variety. Um, so yeah, for a 5D mystic, this isn't actually something that is hard. I was a teenager. I already knew I'm giving meaning to life. Just saying. So that's not changed. That's why I just live the same Maria, but expanded. And it feels like I'm still a teenager, but I'm not. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, you're always going to feel who you are when you haven't left who you are to begin with. And I have secure attachment, remember that. So I have a whole self, got taught I can be all my emotions. Okay, so that's what it means to become an earned secure attachment at some point. It depends how much you allow yourself to love in here and then out there. But what I was trying to also get at is people who fill their life with void. They're uninterested in people who have something more to give. If they want intimacy and depth, then they will want to hang out with people who are intimate and deep. And that's why, while before knowing about attachment trauma, I knew about the ascension energies and how things were going. Now that I know about attachment trauma, I know when I'm with a Pinocchio, that is a wooden boy, and I won't be doing too much there. And then I'm going to know when I'm with Pinocchio, that's a real boy. And this is girls' days, meaning people. And so when you're with real people, that means that they're being their self and they show up authentically and consistently. They don't leave you hanging. They don't want you to not talk. They don't want to not talk. They don't use their time with superficial stuff. They don't want any more of it. That's boring. So an inner child that wants to be alive, they're going to know how to find people who live substance life. Okay? Substantial meaning people who are emotional and mentally mature. Because there's a way that people take life that is lightness. So I was saying in one of the videos, I don't remember if I published it or redid it, but always in a good mood. Doesn't mean that you don't have the other emotions. What it means is that you have your nervous system and your social engagement system, like when I'm in any mood, and that can be anything. Emotions last 90 seconds. My body is full of energy because I am a restored embodied self-aware person who's living an enlightenment soul age group, which is vibing always on the love oxytocin gene hormone because I can. I know how to use an integrated brain. And it's flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable, so you can come on over and do personal development here, but it's for serious people. One-to-one mentorship, again, masterclass, and then ask Maria for the ones of you who want to take it lightly, really not seriously, meaning I just want a person's opinion who knows what she's talking about under some of the aspects that I know about, because you can hear she has something I think I can use for one of these things I'm going through, which is with people, obviously, personal development. And it's opinionated columnist. Dear Abby, I'm having a situation with John or Judette. Can you please share with me your thoughts on attachment, whatever it is, but not diagnosing, remember. No, I'm not a therapist, and that's actually where, for the adult attachment interview, it's because I can conduct it, because I learned of it, but I'm still not a therapist. And I'm, again, going to specify that every time because it's important. I want to respect my colleagues who have backgrounds that are a lot more in depth, and I know which ones to go to if we need them. But I've also verified that a personal consultant person can use, obviously, the material that they will have learned so that they can make the best use of the person's time that you're supporting. As a mystic, intuitively, I can share that yes, the universal love energy, like with Reiki, it's an intelligence. Akashic record readings, too, intelligence. You tap into a person's chambers, you get to share with them stuff. If they don't want to become their inner child adult, they won't. They will just use that information to have fun, and that's about it. And that doesn't look pretty to us because we watch Pinocchios with wooden bodies waste their life, slowly become donkeys with ears, and then become complete donkeys, and then they're like. So, for the ones of you expanding, come on over, and that way you can make use of your oversoul and your life in a way of appreciation. We build secure attachment relationships, and so we commit to doing simple things, and we commit to people who are genuine with each other. It's not a hard thing to do in 2024. It's actually something hard for some people, but they will be doing it with a good therapist, and they need healthy self-worth people who say just because you lie doesn't mean that you have to pay a price. I'm not going to have a scale for you. Don't worry. I know what it means to be flawed and imperfect. Just because you did something really not nice doesn't mean that I'm going to think you won't ever be able to be a better version of yourself. I know you can because of good therapists, because you're putting your best foot forward, because you're going to show it to me. Just because whatever shit went down, like when my friend showed up. And that's where my friend taught me how I would never do that again, because I saw the look in his eyes of shame and fear of rejection, and because I know what the unconscious is, because I'm a human too, but I don't live my unconscious. I'm a grown woman, and my unconscious has never been ruled by a monster, because my mother is not a monster. She talks to me, explains, and she actually is quite a Jacob herself, and she's always given two sides of a coin anytime. So I learned how to do the same. That's where you hold yourself the way you were held. So I know where I come from. I know when I disengage from things that are not a part of me and how it works. And that's the part of where you will learn who you are too if you're choosing your inner child adult. And we want to grow relationships with people who want to consistently be intimate to the depths of their heart. And that's the most beautiful thing that can ever happen, is when a person wants to consistently be around you because they want to be able and have fun. Our moods, they're not nasty when you're your inner child adult. Sadhguru talks all about it, but he doesn't have the psych education. So come on over for more of it. 5D Mystic here. I'm getting into a channeling mood, so I'm going to go off and have some good time with lovely Sphere here. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any curiosity questions, I'm always happy to chit-chat about that. Again, for paid subscription-based model content, we have Ask Maria columnist episodes on the audio version alone for now. And then we have, my mind's going blank. We have inspiringhumanpotential.com, where you can find everything else about inner growth mindset and a lot more. And so, with that being said, and this lovely smile, I will go. Thank you again.